This is really needed this open date. It's a good time for us for self-evaluation, get some guys healed up for this stretch run. Got 4 games coming up in 19 days, so very important stretch for us. So big week for us, self-evaluation, looking at things that we've done well, things we haven't done well. Also a time for us to get some guys healthy, try to get some guys back. C.J. Miller, Victor Evans, Ross Donnelly was a little bit banged up after that game. Dawson Knox, groin bothering him. So trying to get some guys back healthy for the stretch run. A lot of self-evaluation for us this week, and just going to use this to get better. So with that, I'll open it up for questions.
Assuming that you've done some self-evaluation already, what are the areas that you need to attack to correct some things?
Well, the things we're looking at are critical factors. Offensively, third downs, red zone. I obviously, after the last game, spent a lot of time on red zone. What can we do to improve there? When you play against defenses that are really, really good, it gets tough down there. That gets constricted. They're going to bring zero pressure, and you got to win some one-on-ones. And so I think there's a lot of things that you have to look at. But we got to make sure we're putting our players in the best position to be successful. And we do have some guys that can win some one-on-ones, and we got to give those guys a chance when we get down there. So looking at that, then defensively looking at explosive plays, over the course of the season. Is it scheme? Is it players? Is it, what are we doing? Is there a call that's coming up that's consistently, or is there a player we're putting in a situation where he can't be successful? So just looking at all those things and seeing where we can be better.
Matt, who do you think are your best options to win one-on-ones in the red zone?
Well, I think there's some things that we can do in the run game down there to maybe create some mismatches, off play action with Dawson Knox and our tight ends, and obviously I think Lodge and AJ can win down there, and we just got to put those guys in the right spots, and then we got to make plays when they come available. And again, I think it's been a little bit of everything. Sometimes we haven't made the one-on-one play. Sometimes we've missed a block up front. In the last game, they brought zero pressure twice in the red zone where they're bringing one more than you can protect, and we didn't get it out, soon enough. So I think it's a combination of everything, and that's usually the way it is. It's not usually just one thing or one person. It's more of a combination of things. But I think just having the right plan and being confident down there is huge.
Are there any things you guys can do schematically to improve the run game, help Scotty get a little freer? Or
Sure,
is it just about
I think you look at all that stuff. There's always things that you can do better, and hindsight's 20/20. But again, just having the right plan in the run game, and then in the pass game, giving guys chances to get open. But again, when they bring zero, you got to get the ball out quick. It's just got a sore knee, and it's swollen up and inflamed this week. So we just gotta manage him through the rest of the season. And I don't think it's anything that's a serious injury, but it was bothering him, so he'll be limited some this week.
What is C.J. Miller's health like now? Is he somebody that can be back now?
He is. I'm hoping that he'll be back in practices this week, and I would say he's probable for South Carolina. Obviously, I'll know more as he goes through practice this week, but I would say he'd be back. So that should help.
Coach, I'm assuming that, if I'm wrong here, just correct me, that the offense is RPO heavy. Is Jordan making the right decisions when you get in the red zone as far as run or pass or whatever options he has?
You know what? I think we ask our quarterback to do a lot and to make some very, very fast decisions, and I think he's been really, really good with that. Has he been perfect? No. And I think when you get down in the red zone, sometimes it shows up where, hey, he's got to do this better, we've got to do that better. But I think that's true at every position. There's some times that the line could be better, Scotty could be a little bit better, the receivers could win their one-on-one a little bit better. So I don't think I think everybody wants to put the blame on the quarterback. They get too much credit and too much blame some of the time. So, but I do think there is some things that we can all do better, coaches and players, when we get down the red zone, because in a game like that, it gets magnified. Say you look back to the Texas Tech game, we had to kick a bunch of field goals there, but we scored enough where it wasn't just a huge red flag. But now when you lose a game like you did on Saturday, it was a difference in the game. So you got to make sure that that we're addressing those things moving forward, because when you get down there, points are at a premium.
What was the biggest difference, Matt, defensively in the second half after you guys really played well in the first half?
You know what? It was different things here or there. We gave up an explosive pass, an explosive run, and we didn't fit it. And it goes back to that consistency. Same play that we fit really well earlier in the game, same play we didn't fit it. And again, those things happen, but when they do break a run, you got to be able to get that guy on the ground and then just play the next play. And those plays proved to be the difference. Those first 3 drives of the second half, they got 3 touchdowns, we got 3 points, and that ended up being the difference in the game.
When you talk about preventing explosive plays, are there specific things you can work on to try to do that, or is it just the consistency thing?
Well, I think the thing is you look over 8 games, and I think that's what you're looking at. So you're right, okay, you're 5-3. Where can we be better to try to go find a way to win these next 4? And I think that's it. So as you look at all the explosive plays and you see, okay, are there any common denominators? Or anything showing up? Is it one call that we're giving up explosive plays on? Is there one player that's struggling in man-to-man coverage? How can we help him? You know, things like that. So I think you're just looking for common denominators and making sure you eliminate that, and trying to put guys in as good of situations as we can. With your lack of depth, okay, this guy, he's struggling doing this, so what can we do to help him? And so I think that's the things you're looking for when you're looking over an 8-game stretch of how can we be better.
Matt, you're talking about this giving you an opportunity to do some self-scouting and look at schemes and things of that nature. Does an open date allow you to make any kind of drastic changes if needed, or is it just a matter of being able to tweak things?
Yeah, I think it's more tweaks than it is drastic changes. I think you always are concerned more about yourself than you are the opponent. Because I think if you go out there and you play really, really sound, good football, and you play consistent, you're going to have a chance to win football games, and I believe that.
Are there any players you're looking at in different positions in the open date?
No, we're just hoping to get C.J. Miller back, obviously, and that gives us a little bit more flexibility with Miles Hartsfield. With J. Ham and Ken going down, we had to move Miles back out to corner in that game, so it just made us really not very deep at the safety position. But again, proud of Zedrick Woods. He's been a warrior for us all year and basically plays every snap. But hopefully with C.J. coming back, that'll give us a little bit more flexibility with Miles.
Can you just kind of take us through what the week looks like for the team with the open date this week?
Yeah, so we lifted and ran yesterday and got the video done so we can move forward. We'll practice Tuesday, Wednesday, and then have a pretty good run on Thursday, along with some weights on Thursday afternoon, and then the coaches will be out recruiting after that.
You brought up Javian and Ken. Are they all clear?
Yeah, I think they're nagging injuries, so I don't think it's anything serious. So I think with the open date, should give those guys a chance to be back for South Carolina.
How happy were you overall with the offensive line during the game?
You know what? I have high expectations for those guys, and I don't think that they had their best game, and I think we could have been a little bit more physical in the run game. Sometimes the protection broke down, and some of the sacks weren't on them, but that doesn't matter. I think we have a high standard in that room, and I don't think that we played to that standard in that game. Now there were some bright spots and obviously some good things, but obviously when you get down there, I feel like in the red zone or getting stopped on a 4th and 1, there's some things that we could have done better for sure.
You mentioned recruiting. I'm curious, 2 months into the season, has anything that's happened made you change anything? I know you can't comment specifically, but change anything about maybe going heavier on JUCO here, or a grad transfer here, that kind of thing?
Well, yeah, I think you're always looking at immediate needs, and if you're looking for an immediate need, then you're going to look in junior college or this new, the transfer wire, you're going to keep an eye on that, obviously. So there's always some things that you need some immediate needs. But when you're building a program for the long haul and the long term, I do think that some of these kids see an opportunity, and I think that's always good. And again, recruiting is going very well and continues to go very well. So I'm very, very excited about the way it's going.